Good evening and welcome to Haunted Maple 112. This evening I will be telling you about Black Creek Pioneer Village. It is a collection of buildings moved to a large piece of land outside of Toronto. The buildings range from between 1790 to the 1860s. It is a fully working museum. I will highlight some of the haunted locations. Stung Homestead. Daniel and Elizabeth lived in a 3-room cabin with their 7 children. Realizing this would not do, Daniel built a larger homestead behind it. Michael, their 8-year-old son, died due to a hunting accident. He was brought to an upstairs bedroom where he passed away. Strange noises are heard throughout the house. The floors creak when the public is gone for the day. There is a stick which holds a window open that is known to end up on the floor. Staff believe this is Michael pushing it away. Staff have reports of a figure descending the stairs. Footsteps are heard above, but when calling out, no one answers. When checking, no one is there. It is believed Michael is also responsible for moving items in the kitchen. A group of teenagers on a tour were unable to open the front door, trying repeatedly for 15 minutes. Later, it opened without problems. At Christmas, a woman had her dress tugged while standing near the tree. Ornaments are said to move within the space. The staff now say goodnight to Michael when leaving and receive a response by a knock at the top of the stairs. The village cemetery. It was used between 1845 to the 1920s. Security guards report orbs on a path in front of the church. They are also known to be seen among the graves. A German shepherd used for security was seemed agitated by the cemetery. He growled and barked before hunching down, then backing away. During tours, a young boy in 19th century clothing often joins at the back of the group. He will disappear and tug on visitors' clothing. He also plays peekaboo behind the last person in line before vanishing. Richmond Hill Manse. For those of you who don't know, a manse is a home a minister lives in. The house was originally located on Yonge Street. People speak of an uneasy feeling on the upper floor. One employee requested a transfer, feeling that uncomfortable, but until that time would remain outside and watch their partner in the home. A 3-year-old girl visiting with her mother. She was a niece to a staff member, refused to enter. She repeated, "Mean man inside." Books on the shelf in the minister's office were claimed to turn pages. His Bible would be left to one page and be at another in the morning. A child has been seen peeking down the staircase. Photos show children in the house. A report was made of a child in blue shorts, knee-high socks, white shirt with suspenders, and a jacket running up the stairs. The clothing appeared to be between 1870 and 1880 style. Roblin's Mill, built in 1842. It was moved to Black Creek in 1964. Not a ton of happenings. One experience was the wheel of the mill moving in winter, even though it was disconnected. Pigeons at the mill will constantly coo before the weather changes. Berwick House. Built in 1844, it is the most famously publicized house on the property. From knocking, objects moving, footsteps, and cold spots, it has it all. An employee in the kitchen had experienced the same dark shadow in the doorway and staircase. Two employees witnessed a pale light flickering in a second-floor window. When they investigated, nothing, and no one was there. One of them did notice a dark figure cross the hall to a bedroom and vanish. A psychic who visited picked up on a grieving mother aged 20 to 28. The grandfather clock on the second floor also chimes when visitors are in the house. When they leave, it does not chime. This is strange, though stranger still is it actually doesn't work. A mother and daughter visiting the house reported their experience. Upon reaching the second floor, they felt cold and unwelcome. The daughter felt uneasy and felt a soft touch on her face. It then felt as though someone was cupping her chin. The clock chimed. It was an ominous feeling. They went no further and went back down the stairs. Male voices are heard in the basement staff room, but when investigating, the room is empty. A rocking horse has been witnessed moving. A female spirit has been seen in the room. Two employees locking up reported closing all the curtains, only to see them open when looking back when leaving the house. It was agreed one would go in, the other stay outside. The employee watched the curtains close, then open when their partner walked out the door. Another visitor to the house claimed her camera began clicking, then winding itself back. The Flynn House. The house was built in 1859 and moved to the village in 1959. Mrs. Flynn is a playful spirit in a yellow dress. When staff are using the stove, it is not uncommon for the fire to go out when they leave the room. If baking cookies or a cake, they will always end up beside the plate, even though they have been placed on it. She dislikes the man who delivered firewood. Mr. Flynn will bolt Mrs. Flynn will bolt the window shut on his arrival. The employee inside will request she open the door, and she does. A new security guard found himself speaking with Mrs. Flynn in her yellow dress. 4 a.m., he was informing her she could not be on the grounds at this time. The closer he came, she disappeared. The guard quit in the morning after his shift. Reenactors camping out of the village reported a yellow dress walking along the street, vanishing when it reached the inn. They also reported the strong smell of lavender. A saint in a photo is said to change places throughout the house. Footsteps in the attic, they get louder, but no one is there. Candles in the house will go out when a man is near, but stay on when a woman is. Halfway House Inn. Built in 1849, it was moved to the village in 1965 after being closed for 10 years. A woman in a blue dress has been seen in the ballroom. It is normal to hear knocks on the walls and fireplace. A radio will turn itself on and off. One morning, a staff member witnessed a woman with long brown hair ascend the staircase. Once inside, the employees searched the second floor and found no one. The door of a wardrobe would not stay shut when an employee attempted to close it. Yet, on its own, the door would close and open. One is reported to be a light scent of perfume in the ballroom. This is usually after the woman in blue has been observed. The Blacksmith Shop. The shop is estimated to have been built in 1855. In the evenings, when the lights are out, horses are heard inside the shop. It is also said that you can hear the metal harnesses, clomping of horse hooves, and soft neighing or snorting. On one occasion, horses were panicked by the shop. Some folk believe the past and the present are simultaneously happening. And our last building, Dominion Carriage and Cabinet Maker Shop. Built in 1860, it was moved to the village in 1979. An employee reported the feeling of being watched in the basement. At another time, felt someone leaning over them while they worked. There is a shadow seen moving and footsteps within the room and the next one. A middle-aged man in a long dark topcoat with brimmed hat has been seen, but his face never has been. He is usually visible from 4 to 5 minutes before slowly vanishing. Footsteps are heard on the floor above. When filling a bucket with water, 2 employees at different times observed a shadow figure disappear through the back wall of the basement. One of them requested a transfer. There is a coffin by the entrance that spirit uses. A visitor taking a photo had their flashbulb explode. In the photo, there was a white haze, and only the bottom of the coffin was visible. A visitor claimed the front door opened on its own to let him in. Then it firmly shut once he was inside. I hope you enjoyed these haunted happenings at Black Creek Pioneer Village. It was a place that I have visited when I lived in Toronto with my parents in the winter. My dad's Bible class held a service there in the small church, a Christmas service. And with our school, I believe we had been there. Memories aren't many, let's put it that way. But I do remember being there and the smell. And then the stick candy. Well, as I said, I hope you enjoyed this. I thank my subscribers for coming by. Always appreciate it. Glad to see you here. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos. If you find something that you like, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment and share it out if you think someone else would be interested. While you're here, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you do, remember to click that notification bell. I still have other haunted locations to tell you about, and I will also have some, not EVPs, I will also have some other haunted happenings using a ghost box. We'll see what they have to say. And until that time, sleep tight.